You're listening to Fish Grow Plants, a podcast all about practicing and sharing the love of aquaponics, hosted by Logan Schoolcraft.
Hello and welcome to Fish Grow Plants. In today's episode, we're talking about system water. What's good, what's bad, and how to make the bad good. I guess everyone has that story where they realize when they figure something out. For me, figuring out water quality came from a previous job I had where we were trying to do some optics cleaning but needed really clean water. One solution was to buy the water we needed. Another option was to buy a system. But for our needs, that was going to cost over $50,000. Given our situation, the system was the only way to go. So I set off trying to compare options, features, and figure out the similarities and differences between each quote we got. The strange thing that resulted from this? I started to figure out what was needed to make a system that would meet our needs at essentially cost for the parts, since my labor to assemble it was now part of the job. The result ended up being an ultra-high purity water system that could reach 17 mega-ohms and had a capacity of about 100 gallons a day. Not too bad for not knowing anything about the levels of water quality just months before. Now, this level of pure water is way beyond the need for aquaponics, but I tell it to illustrate that if I can figure out lab-grade level water for optics cleaning, I hope you can figure out your needs for aquaponic water. Okay, let's just start this way. What is good water for aquaponics? Asked another way, what measurements indicate good aquaponic system water? Well, I know things vary from place to place, but if I had to make a list, I think I'd say something like this. A dissolved oxygen reading of about 5 parts per million, a flow rate enough to cycle all the system water at least once every hour or so, a pH of about 7.0, a temperature of about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, an ammonia level less than 1 part per million, a nitrite level less than 1 part per million, a nitrate level less than 50 parts per million, and all the water contact surfaces are food grade or non-leaching of chemicals or heavy metals. It's a laundry list, in a sense, but the list of bad stuff can go on for days. What do I mean? Well, how about this? U.S. Water Systems has several web pages to explain more about water issues, well beyond what I could cover here. But to get an idea, here's part of the list they have. Acid water, low pH, arsenic, bacteria, cysts, and virus, chemicals, toxins, PCB, MTBE, TCE, THM, chloramine, chlorine, chromium-6, fluoride, hardness, iron and manganese, lead, methane, nitrate, nitrites, PFOAs, radioactive material, radon, sediment, sand, silt, and turbidity, and tannin. Wow, that's a lot. Granted, not all of this has the same level of, quote, badness, since sand and silt is much more benign than lead or radioactive materials, but the point is that all these issues are additive, meaning once you add up enough tiny parts of each, you have a real issue on your hands. All that means is when you go to fill up your aquaponic system with water from a source that is high in any one of these bad issues, you're most likely going to have issues. For a reasonable example, say your water is perfect, except for the fact that it has chloramine in it. If you fill your system with that water without getting rid of the chloramine, your biofilter, your bacteria, will not live. The chloramine is in the water to kill things like the bacteria you need to make your aquaponic system thrive. Similar things happen with each item in the bad list. Hard water could drastically alter your pH such that you have a nutrient lockout. Chemicals could simply kill things immediately or after a few weeks, and not knowing what's causing your issues can be an even bigger problem. Okay, enough Debbie Downer. What are some of the ways to make bad water good? Or take an unknown quality of water and make it good? Or make sure your water's always good going into your system? Well, thankfully, for people like U.S. Water Systems and many others, there are simple filters and treatments to economically process your water and make sure you only put good water into your system. Aquaponics may be a bit of a new concept for most companies, but if you find a hydroponic water section, you're probably in the right place. Not only can you find filters and injectors to correct, remove, and improve your source water, but they'll most likely offer a reverse osmosis system and a final polish type filter to make sure the end result is what you want and is more than adequate. But let's take this one step further. If you're like me and you have a small system, around 100-gallon system or less, and your household water is good quality drinking water, and under the sink RO, reverse osmosis, multi-stage system may be an economical way for you to provide makeup water to your system. No, it won't produce a lot of water on demand, but if you can use a bucket or the tank provided with most systems, you should have plenty of fresh, clean, pure water to make your fish, plants, and bacteria happy all day long. After sharing that long list of water issues, it seems pretty strange that you can have one simple system of filters fix most of them, but that's a good thing. And it's a good thing to have a good quality water source, such as your city tap. It's when you get into using well water, agricultural water, or open surface sources that you really have to pre-treat before you use any of it. The best course of action? Test it. Yes, have your water tested if you're not comfortable doing so yourself. That way you know exactly what is in or not in your water. Then all you have to do is address those issues, thus saving you time, money, and the hassle of worrying about other contaminants that may not even be in your water. So I hope you now have a better grasp on what it means to have good water and how to make sure you always have good water going into your system, no matter what kind of bad stuff may be out there. Take care. Happy aquaponicking. Questions! Let me have them. Do you need clarification, more information, or maybe you just have a tangent thought? Send all your thoughts my way. See the website fishgrowplants.com for episode details, or just firing off an email to fishgrowplants@loganschoolcraft.com and I'll get back to you. So, was this episode good, bad, ugly, or other? Let me know. Comment, email, smoke signals, it doesn't matter. I love to hear from you. Your feedback is immense, and I'm always grateful for it. Likewise, thank you for taking the time to listen and share your thoughts. Have a wonderful day.
This has been another episode of Fish Grow Plants, the podcast all about practicing and sharing the love of aquaponics, hosted by Logan Schoolcraft.